There is one sentence that cuts deeper than any insult, deeper than ridicule, deeper than open hatred, because it doesn't come from emotion. It doesn't come from losing control. It comes from intention. And if you've ever heard this sentence directed at you, you were not facing someone who snapped. You were standing in front of someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Carl Jung devoted his life to studying what lives beneath the human mask, beneath manners, beneath morality, beneath the carefully engineered personas we use to survive in society. What he uncovered was unsettling. Some words do not express emotion. They expose psychological structure. They reveal the architecture of a person's inner world. And sometimes, they reveal something so dark that once you see it, you can never unsee it. But before the sentence itself is revealed, you must understand the mind that speaks it. This is not about a bad day, not a heated argument, not emotional overwhelm. This is about a condition that forms slowly, quietly, almost invisibly. According to Jung, every human carries a shadow, the parts of the psyche we reject, our jealousy, our resentment, our aggression, our capacity for cruelty. The shadow itself is not evil. Jung was precise about this. The shadow becomes dangerous only when it remains unconscious. Most people attempt to stay good by burying their shadow deeper and deeper. They distract themselves, they rationalize, they avoid self-examination. But some people choose another path. They don't suppress the shadow, they feed it. And when the shadow is nurtured instead of integrated, it stops being something a person has and becomes something a person is. At this stage, perception distorts. Other people are no longer seen as human beings. They become projections, screens onto which unresolved darkness is cast. Their rage becomes your fault. Their shame becomes your burden. Their insecurity becomes your crime. This is projection, and projection is never neutral. Over time, it calcifies into something worse: contempt. Contempt is not anger. Anger still recognizes humanity. Contempt erases it. Contempt is the belief that another person is beneath you, unworthy of empathy, undeserving of dignity. Jung understood that contempt is a fixed psychological position, and once it forms, moral restraint dissolves. This is where intentional cruelty begins. And here is Jung's most disturbing insight. People who harm others deliberately do not see themselves as cruel. They see themselves as justified. Long before the harm occurs, the mind prepares for it. A case is built against you internally. Your words become attacks. Your boundaries become disrespect. Your silence becomes manipulation. Evidence is collected selectively. Conversations are rehearsed. In every version, you are the villain. They are the victim. This is not memory. This is preparation. By the time harm is inflicted, remorse has already been neutralized. And then something revealing happens. The mask slips. The shadow speaks. The sentence is simple, almost casual. I knew exactly what I was doing to you. I meant it. I wanted you to feel it. These words are not spoken in rage. They are spoken with clarity. And that clarity is what makes them terrifying. This is not a confession. It is a declaration of power. Your pain was intentional, calculated, personal. Jung believed that when the shadow fully takes control, it no longer hides. It wants recognition. It wants dominance. That sentence is not about honesty. It is about control.
Your suffering becomes the return on their psychological investment. That is why they want you to know. But the danger does not end there. After crossing a moral line, the psyche faces a problem. It cannot see itself as cruel. So reality is reversed. This is where gaslighting begins. The same person who admitted intent will now minimize the harm, reframe it, question your reaction. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. You won't let it go. Jung called this psychic invasion, an attempt to occupy your inner world with their distorted version of reality. If they can destabilize your perception, they don't have to face their own. And understand this clearly. If someone gaslights you after intentional harm, they are not finished. What follows is often driven by envy. Some people don't want peace. They want superiority. Your healing threatens their narrative. If you grow stronger, it proves their power was temporary. And that realization is intolerable. So they return subtly. A message disguised as concern, a comment designed to reopen wounds, a rumor meant to undermine progress. Jung said resentment is poison that harms the one who drinks it. Your suffering was supposed to quiet their inner chaos. When it doesn't, panic begins. That is why your healing is destabilizing to them. If you're still here, this reached you for a reason. People who haven't lived this don't recognize it. They move on. But you stayed. And that tells me you're not here for comfort. You're here for clarity. So what would Jung tell you to do? Not revenge. Revenge binds you to their shadow. The highest resistance is transformation. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. This is not denial. It is integration. Set boundaries without cruelty. Speak truth without obsession. Walk away without carrying their poison. They wanted fragmentation. Wholeness is your rebellion. When someone says, "I knew exactly what I was doing to you," believe them. But do not let that sentence define you. Let it awaken you. Jung believed our deepest wounds are gateways to consciousness. They never expected you to become whole. That is why your growth is your victory. Unbreakable.